Hey everyone, first of all, I just want to say thank you for all the love and the support from the last video. You've really encouraged me to do this. So I'm going to start this with, first of all, talking about what polycystic kidney disease is. Polycystic kidney disease is a condition that causes numerous cysts to form on the kidney. They eventually get too big, or there gets to be too many of them, that it kind of just shuts down the kidney and ultimately causes kidney failure. So there are two types. There is the recessive and the dominant, and I have the recessive since nobody else in the family has it. Just both my parents had the gene, so I ended up getting it. They knew right away that I had it. Right when I was born, they knew that there was something off, so eventually they figured out it was PKD. So they monitored it, and I was in the hospital for quite some time, and then eventually my kidneys just started to grow and grow and grow and grow with all these cysts, so they ended up taking them out in March of '98. And then I was on dialysis for 4 days a week, 4 hours each time, and I remember them telling me it just drained me. So my mom figured out that she was a match, and we set a transplant date for July 2nd of 1998, but I ended up getting really sick, and there was a point where I flatlined and I stopped breathing, and they all thought that was it. They didn't have to worry about me anymore. But I was able to pull through, and I was getting my strength back, and I was finally strong enough for surgery. And I had the transplant on September 17th, 1998. And it worked, and I got healthy, and I got stronger, and everything was good for almost 20 years, about 20 years. We did the kidney walk last year on September 17th, 2017, so I thought, you know, that was just the coolest line. It's on the exact day of my transplant day. Well then, a couple weeks later, I ended up getting sick. And it was the kind of sick where, like, oh, I just don't have any energy right now. And I thought it was gonna just pass by fast. But it didn't. And it got to the point where I didn't have energy to leave the house. I didn't want to go anywhere. So on October 30th, I went in for labs. And they test your creatinine, which is your kidney function. And my normal is like 0.2 to 2.5. But recently I've been getting like 3 and 3.5, but there's nothing to be concerned about. On October 30th, my number came back to 6.1. And I knew it wasn't good because the following year, or the last year, I was put in the hospital when I had a 4.8. So I knew it wasn't good. So I ended up getting IV fluids that night, and they wanted to check again right away in the morning. I think it went down to 5.8, but they weren't too concerned since it did go down, so they weren't too concerned. And I remember we had a football game that week, and I was so determined to go to that football game. And if you know me, I never miss an Indians football game. And I went, and I remember I just didn't have any energy at all during that football game. Everyone was up standing and clapping, and I stood up at the exciting times, but I had to sit right back down. I just couldn't do it. So we did labs again the following week, and they went back up to 7.1. So that was the point where doctors really started looking. And at this point, I didn't do anything for like 2 weeks. And I remember I was sitting on the couch, and my mom called me and said, "It's time. I want you to start dialysis." And I remember crying and crying, and I remember very vividly. I remember looking up and telling God, "Give me a second chance. I'm not ready for this. Just give me a second chance and I'll do better with everything. Just give me another chance." But I guess when things are ready to happen, they just happen. So now we're up to the 1st of November, or the first week of November, and they were going to put it in on November 14th. That week they were going to put it in. Well, that's when things really took a turn for the worse. I got really sick. I slept most of the time. I was vomiting and I had diarrhea at the same time, and it wasn't good. It took me 2 weeks to heal from that, and I finally got my catheter in on November 29th, 2017. I got the chest one put in right here. And then about an hour after that was in, it was time to do my first run. I was really scared doing that first run. I had no idea what to expect because I didn't remember anything from the first time. But it actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. We ended up staying 2 nights down there that week because I had to do a run every day before I went back home and did them back here. You're just never ready for things like that. Like, I always knew this was coming, but you're still not ready for it to happen. I sometimes wonder why I have this when it is so horrible. And I know there's other horrible things out there that people get. This world isn't a perfect place. The way I look at it is, you don't get 52 perfect playing cards. You still get 52 cards, but they're not all the perfect cards. You just gotta play what you have. You gotta learn to live with what you have and find a way to make a positive with what you have. And you just gotta keep fighting. Just gotta live your life. It's hard. But I think you just have to live your life and deal with it, whatever what comes your way. So yeah, that's my story. Thank you guys for watching. There'll be more to come about my dialysis machine. I'll show you guys my dialysis machine, what it's like living with it, other problems that come with this, and just how I live with this. Thanks guys for all the love, support, and prayers. Thank you for all the love, support, and prayers through everything. It means the world to me.